I want the power in my hands of how much money I make. I don't want it in someone else's hands. And so that was really attractive to me for insurance was if I need more money, I'll just work Saturday and Sunday. If I need more money, I'll just work in the evenings instead of stopping at 6, you know?
It's on you.
Yeah, and I love that.
It's been almost a year, Mallory, since you've been up here.
Yep.
A lot's changed.
A lot has changed.
Yes, for the better.
Yes, definitely.
So last time, you mentioned this before we got on. Last time you were here, I asked you how much you were going to produce last year. You said around 8. You didn't hit 8, but what'd you end up at?
I ended up at 620,000.
Which is the most you've ever sold in a year.
That is the most I've ever sold, and I was disappointed.
You were because I put you on the spot.
I wanted to make you proud.
Okay. Well, I'm still proud. 600K is a lot of life insurance.
Yes.
And it's crazy because you look at the numbers of what people produce here, and this is a place where year one, I think our top producer did less than 400K. And that was, 11, 12 years ago. And now we're talking about 600K is like, I failed to hit my goal, but I sold 600,000.
Yeah.
That's a lot of life insurance.
I saw some projections that came out this week, and I was like, oh, my gosh, I feel like such a loser. Yeah. Like, people are selling so much, and I don't know what's changed, if it's more people going virtual and not doing as many in-homes. You probably know better than me, but I'm like, holy moly, I got to keep up.
Right. No, I think the telesales is a big component of that because, you can cram in so many more appointments. You cut down that drive time.
I think the leads are getting better, too. I think people
Absolutely.
are getting smarter on leads. I think the lead companies are innovating.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great time.
Great time. I was going to say that.
Now, your background, you were in sales before, right?
Yes.
Before life insurance.
Yes.
What was the most you made, whatever job you were doing? What was your best year income-wise before getting into life insurance?
Definitely. So I did advertising sales for Amazon Local. It was a company it's Amazon, but it was kind of like a Groupon. And I did about 6 figures. And I was so excited.
Yep.
I was like, oh, my gosh, I broke 6 figures. I'm rich. Look at me. Which this was like 10 years ago. So it was more money then. Things have changed.
Yeah, nowadays it's can't even pay your bills with that.
Yeah, since COVID, that's different.
Yeah.
And then I also ran a small magazine when I lived in Scottsdale. It was part of N2 Publishing. I also broke 6 figures.
Okay.
But oh my gosh, I was wearing so many hats. I was driving all over town.
Yeah.
It was nothing like insurance sales.
Was this before you had kids?
It was, so my kids are about 4.5 years apart. So there's a lot of time in between. It was before I had my daughter.
Okay.
So insurance was after I had my daughter.
Got it.
Yep.
Which is a whole another layer of, I don't want to say complicated, but it's a lot to juggle.
Yes.
You have how many kids?
I have 2 kids.
2 kids.
And I don't get to talk about it a lot, but that is really the most amazing thing about my story.
Yeah.
Is that I've built everything that I'm at. Everything that's led me up to now, I've done it with small children.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter was 1 when I started. She was in diapers. I had to make a lot of tough choices. I had to make sacrifices. I don't regret them.
Right.
But it's hard. It's hard for a mom to be away from her child to build something that she believes in. And I think I wish I had a camera crew following me to see all the things that women do when they're raising children and building a business.
Right.
But that's what's made me really passionate now about recruiting women and moms. I talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
And I truly feel like called to speak to them and help them because I know how they felt, especially if you're ambitious and you want something, but you also want to be a good parent.
Right.
So.
Let's go back to your background a little bit. You went to college, right? Well, first of all, where'd you grow up?
Okay, so I grew up in Louisiana,
Okay.
a small town called Slidell, Louisiana.
Yeah.
I went to LSU. LSU, the population of LSU was the same size as the population of the town I grew up in. So that was cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that like then for you? It was like culture shock?
I felt so liberated.
Yeah.
It was like the best time of my life.
Yeah.
I was like, this is amazing. Yeah.
Well, going into college, what was your plan? Like,
Plan.
Yeah, you didn't have a plan? I always tell my kids have a plan. You may not follow, that plan. Like my plan, my goal was to be in construction, own a construction company. Here I am doing podcasts and running an insurance office.
I had no plan. I remember they stuck us in a huge auditorium and they said, okay, you're going to pick your major. if you like this major, you'll come sit in this area. If you like this major, and they said mass communications.
Yeah.
And I like to communicate, so I was like, that sounds good. So I
Okay.
just went and sat. I
So
literally
luck of the
remember that.
draw. You just
Yeah, and I loved it, but
Yeah.
I eventually realized if you write for a living, if you do a lot of things for a living, you don't make a lot of money.
Right.
And I learned that I wanted to make a lot of money so I could live out my dreams.
Yeah.
And
At that time, what were your
thank
dreams?
God for life insurance. I don't know. I don't remember. But
Okay.
just to make money.
To make money.
Yeah.
And you did get into journalism.
Yes, I did.
How long did you do that for?
I did that all throughout college, and then I did it for a couple years after. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but I did write for. I wrote for a lot of community publications.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I love writing. I really, really enjoyed it. But what got me away from that was like, okay, now what?
Right.
And then that's when I got my master's degree in business.
Okay.
And then I started working for a marketing company, but then I also realized this isn't going to get me where I wanted to go.
What were you doing for the marketing company?
So actually, no, I was doing marketing for a company. It was for a financial services company.
Okay.
And basically what they did was, it was like, what is it called? Like a credit company where people that can't get loans from banks get it from this company, and it's at really high interest.
Got it. Okay.
What is that called? It's
Scam.
yeah.
No, but
and that's
yeah.
another reason I was only there for a short period of
Yeah.
time. I won't say the name, but I did their marketing, so I helped them pull credit
Okay.
scores
Got it.
for people, and then figure out how to send them. And I thought it was kind of wrong, but they said, "Hey, this helps people that can't get loans otherwise."
Right.
But I'm like, maybe they shouldn't be getting loans.
Correct. Yeah.
But that was right out of grad school.
Yeah.
And then after that was when I moved to Dallas and I started doing sales
Okay.
at the payroll company. We
Got
talked
it.
about that last time.
Yes. And you did that for how long?
Yeah. I did that for about 2 years.
Was that your first real sales job?
Yes.
Yes.
That was my first real sales job. And I remember when I told the guy at the financial company that I was going to go into sales, he laughed at me.
Really?
Yeah, because I was kind of shy and like
Yeah.
not very sure of myself. I mean, I was very young. And he just laughed at me, and I was like, oh, look at me now.
Right? For real. Did that motivate you to do it more, though?
No,
No?
I was just like,
Made you nervous?
I just laugh about it now because
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that worked out, you know?
Yeah. And you did the
Gotta take
payroll
risks.
thing for how long?
I sold payroll at Paychecks for a year and a half, 2 years.
Okay.
I met my husband there.
Oh, he
I
worked
met-
there.
Yes, he
Yes.
worked there. Yeah, he had been there longer than me.
Okay.
I made a lot of friends there, friends I'm still with to this day. And that really kind of like catapulted me where I was like, I took a big risk. I moved to Dallas. I started
Yeah.
in a career I never did before. People were laughing at me.
Where'd you go from Dallas?
What do you mean?
Are you still in Dallas?
Oh yeah, so I lived in Dallas. I lived there for till I had my son.
Okay.
Then we moved to Scottsdale.
Got it.
And we lived in Scottsdale from 2015 to 2021. And then we moved after COVID. We moved back to Texas.
Okay.
And we're still there, but sometimes I still think about moving again.
Yeah. Where? Back to Scottsdale? or
Yeah,
something?
sometimes I do.
Why'd you go to Scottsdale?
My husband got a job opportunity, and they said, "Oh, you're gonna move to Phoenix," and we're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds cool." We're just kind of like, we're down for it.
Right.
So we moved to Phoenix, and then we ended up settling. It was really Scottsdale, and then we got to Scottsdale, and we're like, "This is really nice." Like Scottsdale, I had never been there. I'm like,
Yeah.
"This place is amazing." But what happened was after COVID, the housing market went insane. Everybody's moving in, and I was like, let's go back to Texas and buy a house. So we got a home in Texas.
Got it.
But hey, if this insurance thing works out, I might move back to
Right?
Scottsdale.
Seems to be working all right so far.
Yeah.
So through all that, how did you end up selling life insurance? How'd you find us?
So should I say names? From a huge influencer, you know who I'm talking about.
Yes. Yep.
And he was talking about if you're not making $300,000 a year,
Yeah.
you're not living. I can show you how to make money from home in your underwear, and you need to get in life insurance. And when I heard about it, I was like, this is crazy. How have
Yeah.
I never heard about this? And I literally heard about it on Instagram.
Really?
And that's why I'm such a big Instagram user, because you can change your life from something you found
Yeah.
online.
Were
Like,
you
so-
looking for something, or you
Yes,
just scrolling?
I was.
You were. Okay.
I had been going through a big period for I'd say during COVID, we were home a lot. I
Yeah.
was pregnant. You have a lot of time to think and evaluate your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember just feeling so, I can't even describe it, so restless and so like restless. Like I was looking for something, like I had more, I just felt like, oh my gosh. Because at the time I was like 35.
Yeah.
Most of the people watching this are way younger.
Right.
When you're hitting 35 and you don't have your career dialed in, you're like really going through it. And I just was thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do?
Were you still working at the payroll place, or were you doing
No. Sorry. I've lived a lot of life.
Yeah.
It was after the magazine, during COVID, the magazine shut down.
Okay.
Because it was all mom and pop stores. And if they're
Got
not
it.
running business,
Right. No one's coming in.
they're not going to pay for advertising.
Sure.
I'm the first thing to go. So I shut down the magazine. I was like, this is a good time to have a baby.
Yeah.
Then during COVID, I was just going through a lot of, questioning my life.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was really like meant for something more. And this is a little deep, but I really felt that way. And looking back, I feel like I was being prepared for something like this.
Yeah.
So then, we moved to Texas, heard about, my husband kept saying to me, the baby's getting a little bit older. I really think you need to get back to work. And we needed the money.
Okay.
I know everybody looks at everybody that's successful and thinks, oh, you've always had money, or
No.
you always, it's like, no, we didn't. Like,
Right.
we needed money. We had bills to pay. We had debt. We were on one income. And my husband's like, he knew I was capable. He knew I'd made money before. He's like, you need to go to work.
And before that, you always had two incomes, right? You were working
Most of the
Most
time,
of the
yeah.
time.
Except whenever I had my children, I
Yeah.
would take a little bit of time. It was important
But
to me.
for the
to,
most part, it
yeah,
was
I
two
worked.
incomes.
Yeah.
Now you're missing one.
Yeah, and he's like I was we were never going to be like a single income.
Right.
That was never
Never
the
the goal.
situation. Yeah, never the goal. So he kept saying like, "Oh, you really need to get back to work." And literally my worst fear was that I would have to get some job I hated
Mm-hmm.
that sucked my soul,
Yeah.
that I had to drive and then be away from my kids. And the
Yeah.
thing is, when you have and guys, I've worked these jobs. I know what I'm talking about. My husband has worked in corporate too. You have two masters. You have your family and your kids, and then you have this job that
Right.
doesn't really care about your family and your kids.
Correct.
They care about their, deliverables and this and that.
Their bottom line.
And some people love that. And I'm not trying to tell other people, if you love the mission and you love what you do, rock on.
Sure.
I'm just saying, for me personally, it was literally shook me to the core. I didn't want to do it. And I was kind of freaking out, like, oh my God, I got to find something. He's putting the pressure. I know he's right, but I got to find something that I really believe in, And so around that time, I kid you not, it was literally like the end of December 2020. I hope I get this right, 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, because my daughter was born in November of 2020, so 2021. That's when I saw this thing on Instagram from the big influencer. We won't
Yeah.
say his name, but you know who it is.
Right.
And I was like, all right, this sounds amazing. So he did a call. It was like a live or a webinar. I got on it, and I was like I said, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. I can work from home and make all this money, and I just sell, and I've sold before. And I actually prefer selling on the phone.
Okay.
I liked being on the phone.
Yeah.
I had done stuff like that before for other companies. And so I told my husband, and he's like, sounds like a scam. Everybody's husband
Right.
or wife has said that when they heard about insurance.
Sure.
Sounds like a scam. You got to buy
I mean, let's
leads.
be honest. It
Yeah,
does,
it
right?
does,
Like
yeah.
it sounds too good to be true.
Yeah.
But then when you take it, and you look into it and realize it's great for some people, and you're doing a lot of recruiting now.
Yeah.
It does not work for everyone.
It doesn't.
So
it
like
doesn't.
if you're watching and going, "Oh, I'm going to join and make, millions." Maybe not, because it takes a certain type of person
It
to do
takes
this.
a certain type of person. It takes hunger. It takes drive. It takes belief. But man, if you've got it, there's nothing
Yeah.
better. There's nothing better. Like, I believe in it as much today, going through everything I've been through, as I did when I first started, the excitement I had for it. I literally feel so thankful for this industry. Like, I cannot overstate it. And that's where my passion comes from, showing up every day. I show up every day. I work every day for my team. I don't, there's nothing else I'd rather be
Yeah.
doing, because I believe in it. And then I think about, oh my gosh, there's so many women out there, and men, all kinds of people that are looking for something like this. They just haven't seen it yet.
Right.
And so, yeah.
Looking back when you first found this video or got on the call, I know there's a lot, the work from home, the money. What was the biggest thing that attracted you to this company? Was it the money? Was it the work from home?
Both.
Both.
I live in the DFW area.
Yeah.
Driving around, like, you're taking your life in your own hands when you drive.
Right.
You're stuck in traffic. You don't know when you're going to get wherever you need to go. I hate that.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in that rat race. And then I'm also a homebody, believe it or not. I like to be home. I like my routine. And just even if I'm not with my kids, like, while I'm working, I'm still at home, and my kids know that.
Right, you're in the next room. Yeah.
Yeah, and my daughter will even say, like, she'll just be like, stay in the house all day, okay, Mom? Like, she'll literally tell me that. And I'm like, I don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I'll let you know if I'm going somewhere. But that's important to children, too. Like, that's their security, and my kids are very secure and well-adjusted, and I think that's a big part of it. And then, the money, because I don't want to work and make barely enough to just pay my bills and then keep working. I don't want to do that. And I was having this conversation with my husband yesterday, and I have to be careful how I say this, but we were just talking about how companies now do not account for the inflation and the cost of living.
Right.
And if you go to your company and say, hey, things are different now, like things aren't the same, everything's gone up in the past few years, I think I need a pay raise, most of them are going to fire you or laugh you out of the office,
Yep.
And so I don't like I want the power in my hands of how much money I make. I don't want it in someone else's hands. And so that was really attractive to me for insurance was if I need more money, I'll just work Saturday and Sunday.
Right.
If I need more money, I'll just work in the evenings instead of stopping at 6,
It's on you.
Yeah, and I love that.
Yep.
So
That is one of the biggest things I like about this business, our industry, our company specifically, is your success or lack thereof is on you. Yeah, you get people that quit. They'll blame, the leads, the train. Then why are there so many people out there? Like you're talking about the projections. We have, over 200 people projected to hit Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah.
Personally, it's 400,000 of premiums sold by one individual. Over 200 people projected. So it's obviously working for someone.
yeah, it is.
But it's because they're doing it.
Yeah.
We have a system. Yeah, we got, training, but they have to then take that and go do something with it.
Yes.
What was it like early on for you? Because this sale, you've been in sales, but this is a different sale, right? Have you ever done lead-based sales prior to this?
No.
No,
I didn't.
It was all like cold call.
Yeah, it was cold calling. I used to cold call like nail salons to get them to do an Amazon local deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was fine. How was it for me starting out? It was hard, but I was so driven.
Yeah.
And I started with a lot of people at the same time, so there was like competitiveness.
Okay.
It's super fun to start with a lot of people because you're kind of like, it's like a horse race. It's like,
It's
oh, they're
motivating.
beating me. I gotta, yeah. And I think that propelled me forward, like having that community of people, and we're learning together. And it was like friendly competition,
Yeah.
but it was hard. I went through all the same challenges everyone else did.
What was the biggest challenge early on?
Working really hard and not making sales and wondering what happened. I made sales a few days ago. Why am I not making sales now? What changed? And then just the, pushing through that. Chargebacks is always really, really hard. A lot of customers are just rude.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation with my sister yesterday. You'll write them a policy. They'll thank you. They're so appreciative. And then they'll call in like 3 hours and cancel. And you're like, what?
Right.
And it's dealing with that. It's like feeling like you should be winning, but you're not winning. And
Yeah.
you're like, why am I not winning? I'm doing everything right. But the thing you have to realize is that first year, it's really preparing you. Like if you don't quit, you're going to be successful. But you're going through a lot of stuff so that you can help other people and you can
Right.
show other people. And I always say it's like spiraling up. You're going to keep having the same problems, but they don't bother you as much.
Yeah.
You're better at handling it.
You learn how to deal with them.
And you just see it as part of the business. And when you can reframe the problems that you're having, the trouble, as just part of the business, you don't get as rocked by it.
Right. Did you
It's-
ever think about quitting early on?
Not really.
No.
No.
Why not? What kept you
Where
motivated?
am I going to make that kind of money?
Well, you didn't make it yet, right? You just had that much faith that you were going
No,
to.
I was making money.
Okay.
No, I've always made money. I have always made money. I've
Got it.
always been profitable. But I'm saying like day to day, the problems I was saying were more day to day.
Okay.
Like I made a sale on Monday, but I did the same thing on Tuesday and Wednesday. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't make a sale, and it's in your head.
Right.
It's a mindset thing. And now I can help other people and just say like, it's the law of averages. It's a numbers game. You might not make a sale on Tuesday and Wednesday, but you might make 3 on Thursday, so keep going.
Right.
But a lot of people just don't show up on Thursday because they didn't
True.
make anything on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yep.
Don't do that.
Or, I mean, it's the activity, too. Like, how many appointments were you running in those days? You had all those chances. A lot of people, when they first get started, they run a couple appointments. Like, your Monday to Tuesday is there 1 week to the next to the next. So they go, I made, one sale last week, but then 2 weeks in a row I didn't.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to not make money for weeks at a time and keep it going. But if you're meeting with enough people and your activity is high, then you're going through that same learning curve in a couple of days that may be taking people weeks or months.
Yeah.
The activity is important.
And I always tell people I called integrity leads.
Yeah.
I called Nectar leads, which are now defunct, but they were great for me.
Okay.
I one call closed. I sold final expense because I feel like everyone's looking for a shortcut.
Right.
Especially now. This is my opinion. I feel like people are more entitled now.
Mm-hmm.
More people that are coming in now, they want quick success and they want the best leads.
Right.
And I'm like, the best leads are $25 each. So why don't you start on these leads like I did and work your way up? But people, they don't want to waste time. They want to go, because that's our society. It's instant gratification. But I always tell people, this is how I started. This is what I did. And again, you're learning, and it's like a plane that's taking off. I've been using this analogy a lot. But it's a plane that's taking off, and you've got to get momentum. Planes don't just fly right off. Like, they have to, go down the runway, and then they take off. And then I said, sometimes you take off, and then you crash because you took a vacation or you go buy a car. It's like, relax.
Yeah.
Follow the process. Stay committed, especially your first year.
Everyone thinks there's a shortcut. It must be so easy if she's making this now, but they don't see the stuff you were talking about early on or the sacrifices.
Yeah.
I remember we used to go in home, right? So we would have dial days, just like you guys do the Zoom rooms now. It was booking appointments.
Yeah.
And Sean would bring in new agents. They'd sit them down. He'd go, listen to him dial. So I'd book like 9 out of 10 appointments. And the question they would always have, they'd be looking at the lead. What kind of leads are those? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Give me your leads. I'll do the same thing. Yes. It's not the leads. It's this. It's
the
you.
mindset.
Absolutely.
And if you think they're crappy leads, you're going to get bad results.
Absolutely.
And then I'll give those same leads to my best agent. And my best agent is my best because she's like, I'm going to make a sale out of this.
Right.
You give it to me, I'm going to make 1 to 3 sales out of this batch.
Yep.
And so, it's not the leads. It's really not. There's some leads that are fresher. I've been doing self-gen lately and really, really like it. I think it's a great bang for your buck. But I can
just like social media leads.
Yeah. I don't run it myself. I pay someone.
Got it.
But I've been doing that this year, and I really like it.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I don't want to take us off track.
So, what was your first full year with us? Was that 2023?
2022 was my first year.
And you sold how much?
I got that award, the 250.
250.
Something around
So you
that.
walked across stage. Then the following year,
Actually wasn't there at that one.
Oh, you weren't?
Yeah, I missed it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, we had an award for you. But
I know, and I was so bummed. I asked them to send it to me. But anyway.
Then the next year, you hit Hall of Fame, 424.
Yes.
So you got your red jacket, you got your awards.
It was amazing.
And then this past year, 620.
Yes.
So you said prior to working here, the best income year you ever had was just over 6 figures?
Yeah, just over 6 figures. Yeah, a little over 100K.
Okay, a little over 100. What did you make last year?
So last year, I brought into my accounts over $600,000.
Okay.
And I have receipts, as I mentioned. My expenses were about half of that.
Okay.
Now, the way that I did it was I did mortgage protection, and we were running a system that was mailers, fresh mailers, and you had a dialer, which was a virtual assistant in the Philippines.
Okay.
That's how we did it. That's the system we ran. It worked for me. I was happy because I netted $300,000.
Right.
And I thought it was
not a bad program.
Great. I'm trying to top it now, but that's what I did all of 2024.
And that was virtual or telesales?
It was both. I did Zoom calls, but I like doing phone better. I will say I think when you do that system, it's better to do Zoom.
Okay.
But I was so tired of people getting on and saying, I can't get the sound to work. They're pointing, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I like phone. It's similar.
Got it. And now you're doing self-gen leads, final expense, IUL, mortgage. What's your target?
I'm doing self-gen mortgage protection, and I love it.
Really?
They know why you're calling. They know your name. They know your company. It's great.
Yeah.
Now everyone's going to message me and say,
Right.
what do
I
you
want
use
to know
it
the
at?
secret.
But I will say my team, my agency, they're doing self-gen, but they're doing all different kinds. I have people that are doing vet leads,
Yeah.
self-gen, same thing, just targeting that. Another person's doing first responders. Now I'm telling their secrets. They're going to be mad at me. But they're doing different. People are very weird about their
Right.
sources.
Here's the thing, though. You can tell people everything.
Yeah.
The odds of them going and doing it, I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
All these business books, they tell you how to build a business.
Yeah.
They tell you everything they did because most people aren't willing
Won't
to
do
go
it,
through.
yeah.
Like, that's what I want to talk about, too, with you is the sacrifices, right? We talk about all the good stuff. You netted $300K last year, Hall of Fame back-to-back years. You're building a team. All that's great. That's what a lot of people see and what they focus on. But you had to sacrifice to get there. You mentioned 2 small kids. Well, you had a 1-year-old when you started, right, or newborn.
Yeah, 1-year-old, yeah.
1-year-old when you started, which obviously if you don't have kids, maybe you don't know this, but 1-year-olds, they want their moms a lot and they want their parents. What was it like early on? What were some of the sacrifices you had to make and how did you go through that?
I think the thing is when we talk about being a mom, people are like, oh, if you're not a mom, you're like, yeah, whatever, I don't care.
Right.
But I want you to think about your mom. And I want you to think about when you were a kid and how important that was to you. It makes people emotional. The thing that I've learned with my kids is I can't go back. I can't go back to when they were 2, when they were 3, and I had to make that choice. And so did I still spend time with my kids? Absolutely. Me and my kids are very close.
Right.
But I can't go back and get that time where I was dialing 6 to 8, 6 to 9, or even the time that I was thinking about my business when I could have been focusing on my kids. I can't get that time back.
Right.
And so now my daughter's 4, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so big, you're so tall, and she's independent. And my son's 9, he just started golf camp. And it's just that's the sacrifice, is just that time. Excuse me. So I don't regret it. I made a choice because I want to give them the best life that they can have. Even the golf camp my son's doing right now, like, it's expensive.
Yeah.
Holy crap, he's going the whole summer. And I'm like, this is like a mortgage payment.
Right.
But I'm happy I can do it because this is going to shape him because he's around other kids. He's learning a skill. He loves it. And I'm so happy that me and my husband can give him that. But it was because of sacrifices I did. Because I can tell you, 4 years ago when I started, golf camp wasn't even.
You wouldn't have been able to do it.
Oh, my God. We couldn't even replace our car that was, like, way
Really?
overdue. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you. So yeah, those are the sacrifices. And it's not just the work. When you have a business, it's the mental load, as we say.
Yeah, there's no off switch.
There's no off switch. And so as a mom, you want to be nurturing and you want to show your feminine side. But when you're running a business, it's your masculine side. It's go, go, go.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. And so I'm still learning how to balance that.
I'll say, how do you shut that off or tone that down when it's now, time with the kids?
It's hard.
Yeah.
I'm still learning. Yeah. Sundays are a good day when you can put your phone away and you're not talking to anybody about work. And then, those are the days that I can really focus on 100% being a mom. But,
Right.
I also remind myself it's life.
Yeah.
There's, everybody that's in every kind of situation as a mother has different things pulling on them. There's all kinds of different situations. So just for me, it was making that choice to start a business. And then at this point, continuing to grow it. Because I'll tell you this, it would be way easier for me to just be a producer right now.
Why do you say that? I don't disagree, but why do you say that?
When I'm a producer, I can set my own schedule. I don't have to integrate with a team. I can do my own thing. I can shut out the world and just focus on my clients. When you're a leader and you have an agency, you're always thinking about your team. You're always thinking about making sure you're living up to your promises to them. You're answering questions, you're training, and they've entrusted you with their business. And so it's not just having 2 kids. It's like
Right.
having 70 kids.
Yeah. It's no different than when, you hire staff. Now you have obligation to pay that person every week.
Yep, and I've hired staff this year. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Like now you have no choice. Well, I guess you could not and get into some issues, but you offered someone a job. You said, I'll pay you X if you do this. But now you got to make sure you have enough money coming in to pay that person every week, every 2 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's a big part of what we do. And a guy told me this when I first got into the business years ago. He said it from stage. He said that The day you recruit your first person, you give up your right to be average and ordinary.
Yeah.
Because now someone else is looking to you to help them get to where you are or where you're trying to go. So you can't be complacent and build an agency.
Yeah. And when I bring someone on my team, like, they take up space in my mind.
Yeah.
If I don't see them for a few days, I'm like, what's going on with them? What are they doing right now? And I'm like spending all this mental energy. And of course I reach out to them, but I care about their success. And so for me, yeah, I can't be mediocre. And that means showing up every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the first one on Zoom. I'm opening the Zoom room, and I'm on Central Time. So, it's not even like I'm in Eastern Time, but
Right.
I make sure that I'm there every day. And I try to set the pace so that people understand that if you can get anything from this podcast, it's consistency. To me, is the number one key to this business.
Yeah.
Consistency. That's really what I boil it down to. Because when I started, I've literally just kept this story going by showing up every day. The only time I don't show up is if I have like a family trip or I'm here with you or
Right.
whatever. But other than that, I'm showing up every day for my team.
Yeah.
Because I know that's what it takes. This isn't a casual business,
Right.
you know?
Now, you've also kind of bounced around a little bit. Like, we talk about the person, who attracted you to this business. They left, came back. I can't even keep track
Okay, first
anymore.
of all, I haven't bounced around.
You have, okay.
It
The
wasn't
people around
me.
you have.
The people that I'm part of bounced
Yes.
around. And yeah, so we were at one agency, then
Yep.
we kind of had like a migration. We went to another agency, then that agency decided they were leaving FFL.
Yep.
I was going to go with them. I had like a watershed moment, and I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What's
Let's talk
not
about
to,
that a little bit.
What's
Without-
not to love here
Right.
at FFL?
Why were you originally going to go with them? Just
Because I was part of that agency. It's
Yeah.
like being part of a family. It's like that's what they're doing, and they're talking about all the positives of it. And I'm like, yeah, I wasn't unhappy. Honest to God, I wasn't
Right.
unhappy. I was making money.
Yeah.
Life was good. But literally, it was New Year's Eve, this last one.
Okay.
I was having a party at my house. I'm trying to get everything ready. Had some friends coming over, and literally deciding not to go with them. Like, it was down to the wire. And I was aggravated because I was like, I was going to relax over the holidays. And now I'm dealing with
stressed
this.
out over this.
But they were like literally going to cut all the contracts
Yeah.
of what they told us on a certain day.
Okay.
I'm trying not to say too much.
Yeah.
And so I like had to make this decision. And just something deep, deep inside of me that never steers me wrong, I guess you call it intuition, was like, don't go.
Right.
Do not go. And I called my sister and I was like, I really don't think we should go. And she's like, you're just being dramatic. And I'm like, no, I really think we need to stay
Yeah.
at FFL. And then around that time, I got on, I'm always on Instagram, but I went on Instagram, and someone that I knew had posted that they were going to convention. And so I messaged him. We got on a call because I thought he was going to. The short version of the story. When I saw that he was staying, we started talking. Then he connected with me with all these other people that were staying. And it's just been the best thing. I'm so thankful. I really think that things line up for you, especially when it's in moments like that keep you on the right path. And I got connected with a group that I feel like my future and my growth is aligned with.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, like I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
There was nothing not to love, and I had no reason to take a risk when I've had nothing but success since I started at FFL.
Right. And at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. Like, I don't listen to people that left. They think what they're doing is best for them. Have at it. Great.
Yeah.
That's great. Do what you think's best for you. But I think maybe along those lines, you realize, like, well, maybe this is best for me here.
Yeah, and I just think that you have to kind of feel what you align with, and I don't think I aligned with where they were going or what they were doing.
Yeah.
Wish them all the best. Wish everyone the best. I just had to do, like you said, what was right for me, but also for my team.
Yeah.
And my team had kind of expressed, that they didn't want to go.
Okay.
And so, and I mean, look, FFL's having their best year ever.
Right.
I'm growing.
Yep.
My team's growing. We're happy. There's never been a better time to be in insurance, and there's never been a better place to sell insurance. And I truly believe that.
I was on a call the other day with finance people from Integrity, and they're like, you're way above where we projected. Like, what's going on? And I'm just like, guys, it's what we do. We grow. Like, I don't know there's nothing.
Yeah.
There was no big moment. They're like, well, was it a big meeting? I'm like, no, we just grow the volume. If that wasn't I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here to just do this.
Yeah.
Neither would Sean. Sean would have been gone a long time ago if we were just, smooth sailing, complacent. Like the goal is to grow because of the fact that last year we did right around 600 million in life paid. Okay, a lot of volume.
Mm-hmm.
We had less than 20,000 individual agents get paid on a policy. There's a couple million that have a license in this country. And there's probably several millions that don't have a license but have been in sales that could do something here, right? My point is there's plenty of agents out there that aren't working with us that could and probably should.
Yeah.
And then you think about, 600 million in insurance, a lot of insurance, but there's still a lot. I mean, you meet with clients every day. There's a lot of uninsured and underinsured people in this country.
Yeah.
So we're just scratching the surface.
It's crazy. And there's just so many people that haven't heard of this opportunity. And
Right.
I know they need it because I was one of them.
Yeah.
And I know what's going out there in the workforce. And in my opinion, a lot of people are depressed.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of lost the fire. And I feel like this industry has given me, I don't know, I've always had the fire, but it's like letting me like use it and build something. And I just find it so exciting. And what I love about FFL, because I've thought about this, is they kind of give you the power to create your own thing.
Right.
You don't have to come and do what everyone else does. You can brand yourself within FFL like I'm doing and like I've done and find your people. And don't get me wrong, you can't do your own thing, like do things that are unethical, illegal. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying it's kind of like giving you the space to like, for people that are really driven, that want to create, that want to build, you can come here and do that. And I meet with a lot of ambitious people, like when I'm recruiting, and I'm like, you want to talk on stage? That's your thing? Huge stage here.
Right.
You want to go on YouTube and have be a personality? Do it. Because insurance is just such a rich, I know people think, oh, insurance is boring. It's not. I'm having the time of my life. So.
Yeah, when you tell people you're in insurance, like, oh man, like they picture that old guy with the cheap suit and pie charts and all this stuff and talking till your head spinning for 2 hours.
It's not that world anymore, though. It's young people, it's ambitious people. It's exciting.
Now you said you made a shift to recruiting more beginning of this year, right?
Yes.
What? I guess why? I mean, easy, but explain to everybody why. Selling $600K a year, netting $300,000. You're like, you could do that every year for the next 10 years and be happy.
I did not set out to do that this year. Literally, nothing happened the way I planned it.
Okay.
I didn't know anything was going to happen the way that it did. Literally, January 1st, like I was telling you, all these things changed.
Yeah.
And then what happened was it was like a floodgate open, and all these people started reaching out to me. And I don't know if it was because the beginning of the year and people just have new, like, this is the year I want XYZ.
Yeah.
But so many people reached out to me, and I was like, whoa, okay, the universe is telling me this is what I need to do now. Because I was literally going to just, like, try to sell a lot again. I was still going to grow my team, but – and then the way everything's just kind of lined up, like, I've started doing marketing. I've hired, like we said, employees, and it's been like doors have opened, and I've just walked through them.
Okay.
I never had, like, this big master plan, like, this is the year I'm going to XYZ. I'm just doing my thing and making the next right step. And that's what's led me here. And my production is lower, but my income isn't.
Right.
And I'm still growing, and I'm growing as a person. I'm growing professionally. And more importantly, my team's growing.
Yeah.
So,
what do you guys do in a month right now? Roughly?
200,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting some bonus money yet?
I did.
You did?
I just started. I'm like, oh.
Get your first bonus.
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
did.
How much was it?
I think it was like 2,700.
Okay.
It's a baby one.
Yeah,
but
baby one.
I'm thankful. Yeah.
Not bad. But I mean, for doing what you're doing anyways, right? Like in an extra $2,700.
Yeah. And I see the vision now. Like,
yeah.
I'm excited, and I love seeing people that were where I was. And I can literally say, like, everything you're going through is normal.
Mm-hmm.
Just stay with it. And just, I'm really big on working on their mindset, because if they just do the work and they have the right mindset, they're going to get there. And I love just seeing them launch. I love seeing them start making sales every day. And then they're like, I love this business.
Right.
And I'm like, there we are.
It almost feels better than you doing it, right? Like it's great to make $600,000, but to help somebody else get out of their spot. Because I'd imagine a lot of people that you're recruiting, like, people don't come to us wealthy. Like, hey, I'm bored, Mallory. I just want to sell some life insurance. No, they come broke, right? I mean, how awesome has it been to see in this short period of time, people come to you broke, busted, whatever, and them work their way out of that situation.
It's amazing. And I just think, wow, how many lives can I help? And
Yeah.
I don't want to say change it. I'm not that big a deal.
Well, you're helping them
That's
change their
but
lives.
yeah, like just help them.
Yeah.
And, you know, people always say like, oh, it feels great to serve. It feels great to help. And I was like, no, it feels great to make money. But now that I'm experiencing it, I'm like, no, this is really great.
Yeah.
This is a bigger impact. And then what's even more beautiful is creating a team that we're really like a community, that we're all helping each other. And I can't even describe it. It's such an amazing culture that we've built. And it's mostly women.
Yeah.
And it's not competitive. I say it's collaborative.
Okay.
And we really, truly want to see each other.
You're like the mom's team over there.
We
now.
are, but we take men too. We do have
Okay.
men.
You don't discriminate.
Yeah,
but
the men love it. We
Yeah.
we treat the men great. We help them even more so. But it's just a collaborative culture, and you can feel that we want each other to win because we know what it felt like to be there. And like when more people are winning together, you just can't beat that energy.
Right.
Like I don't just recruit just to have a bunch of people. I actually say no a lot more now.
Good.
Like don't accept everybody, which you could argue for both cases.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's creating a culture that is bigger than you, I guess, which is what Sean Mike has done, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of people here at FFL.
100%. And you're in a good team for that, Jay. I love
Yeah.
Jay. I think we need to tap into another group because I feel like everyone that comes up is part of Jay's group. But I've
been part of a lot of groups.
You have. But I guess for Jay, it's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah. And the thing I've learned the most, Jay's great. He's very supportive, and he has a huge team. So if you get any time from him, it's, it's great.
Yeah.
And he gives me a lot of time. And the thing I've learned the most from him is the marketing aspect, because a lot of people will show you how to sell,
Right.
but not a lot of people will show you how to hire, how to market, how to train.
Yeah.
And so that's what he always says is, now I'm going to get it wrong. Market, hire, train, sell, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But those are like the 4 pillars. And so that's what I've been working on.
Yeah.
And that's what gives you a well-rounded business.
Absolutely.
You don't want to just sell for the rest of your life. I mean, you could, but if you don't want to and you want to build something bigger than yourself, like we're talking about, you have to learn those skills. And it's really fun.
Describe like how you're running this team. So, if you're selling, it's easy. Hey, not easy, but your schedule, I dial from this time to this time every day, whatever the case may be. But for your team, are you doing a Zoom room every day meeting? Because I'm assuming people are all over the country.
Yeah, we're all over the country. We're Zoom room.
Okay.
Group chat.
Every day?
Every day.
Yeah.
Saturdays have been a little bit harder for me because my kids are getting older, and I don't want to say no to dance class and basketball.
There's always something.
Yeah.
Basketball, dance, volleyball, lacrosse. It's nonstop.
As I get older, I'm finding myself having to make those choices. But during the week, I'm a rock.
Yeah.
You need me, you know where I am.
Yeah.
I'm right here with my ball cap on, 9 a.m. And people will message me and ask questions, and I'm like, you know where I am.
Right.
Like, come.
So you're in the
get
Zoom
it.
room every day?
Every day.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
And then on the weekends, if I can't be there, I have leaders now. I have my sister, Kendall, who's growing her own agency. She's got a few killers already.
Okay.
And then I have some other agents as well that are there every day. And they love being part of the team. They're giving back, and they're growing as well. And so, that's really building a team. It's you don't want to be the how a wheel, it's like they have the center and then the spokes. You don't want to be that. You don't want to be the center of it all. You want to create something that runs without you, right? And I've been part of teams where it was like everyone was just branched off of that.
Right.
You need to empower other people to build their own thing because it's not my thing.
Correct.
Right? I'm creating, a format. I'm creating, now I can't think of the word, but it's something people can plug into. But when I recruit, I say, you can create your own thing, your own agency. It's not about me.
It's more attractive, too, when there's several people being that example, right? Like validating the model. If it's just you, well, then everything reverts back to you. Then it's like, well, if Mallory doesn't do it, we can't do it. But if you have 4 or 5, 6 people that are doing what you did last year, it's only going to help you grow faster.
And I tell people, you can sell way more than me. You can build a bigger agency than me. I have small kids. I'm limited in some ways. You could do something even bigger. And so I do find that people will put me on a pedestal pedestal,
Yeah.
whatever the word is. But I'm like, I love to tell them how I got started, my problems I had before, because you have to realize everyone's just like you.
Yeah.
Just some people made a decision and some people didn't. You're going to
Correct.
make your decision, you know?
What is your goal? So last time you're here, I put you on the spot personally. I'm going to put you on the spot agency-wise, okay?
my
So you're doing
gosh.
200K right now.
I always like shoot too low.
Yeah, don't shoot low here. By December of this year, so before the year's over.
5 million.
5 million a month.
No,
No.
total.
What would you do? What do you want to do? What is your goal to do monthly by the end of the year with
What's
your team?
5 million divided by 12?
Let's say probably 400K, 480.
Oh, no. Let's say 500,000.
500,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm manifesting that.
Yes,
Yeah.
you can do it. It's
Yeah.
gonna take some work, but we got time.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm putting you on the spot. So
And there's one other thing I want to say. One of the biggest challenges I've had this year, it's now, June? The biggest challenges I had was going from being a top producer to being more of like building an agency. Because when you're a top producer, you get a lot of accolades. You're used to seeing your name. Now the posts come up and I look for my name and I'm like, why am I even looking?
Right.
I'm not there. There's some other important person. And so it was a big like retraining of your ego,
Yeah.
right? And that was hard. And a lot of people don't talk about it because a lot of people don't go through it.
right.
Going from a top producer to going to, trying to grow your agency to a Hall of Fame agency.
Right.
And so that's something I'm going through. And if anyone has tips, reach out. But
Yeah. So is Hall of Fame agency your goal for next year?
yeah,
Yeah.
I think you should always be
Absolutely.
trying to grow. And yeah,
Right now, it's only 10 million in a year. I mean, it's probably 100 people that are going to do it this year or
no
more.
big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. All right, I have some fun questions here. Well, I don't know if they're fun. We'll find out. So I'm going to throw some stuff at you. You can rapid fire answer these. It's something new we started doing here, Mallory.
Okay.
So lots changed in a year. All right, let's see. Would you rather have a client? So would you rather? Would you rather have a client say, "I'll think about it," or "I have coverage through work"?
Coverage through work.
You rather deal with
Because
that?
I can kill that.
Okay.
Don't ask me to do it now.
No, we'll do that on Tina. Would you rather get rejected 50 times in a row or go back to your 9 to 5 for a week?
Ugh. Rejected 50
Yeah.
times in a row. Yeah.
And then last one, this is good for you because you're building now. Would you rather never get a chargeback again, but you can't recruit, or build a massive agency but deal with 30% chargebacks?
Those are both bad. I'd do the chargeback.
Yeah, it's 30%. 30%
too
falls
high,
off
right?
anyways. Well, I guess, yeah, placement-wise, 30% is going to fall off anyway. So, all right, now, true or false? Let me know, in your opinion, if these are true or false. You need a high school degree to sell life insurance.
No, false.
If you've ever eaten McDonald's, you should get life insurance today.
Really? That's
Yeah, it's a question. What do you think?
well, everyone needs life insurance.
There you
so
go.
True.
Yes.
Okay. You got me caught on McDonald's.
I'll do that. Most people fail in sales because they quit too early.
Yes, absolutely. Give it 3 to 6 months minimum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I see when people start succeeding is between 3 and 6
Yeah.
months.
Yeah, it's almost like if it hasn't been 90 days, we got nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, I'm struggling. No, you're not. You just started.
Yeah.
Keep going. You should
Oh,
be
God.
struggling right
And they're
now.
working 2 hours 3
Yeah.
times a week.
Exactly. Cold calling is easy.
I don't consider what we do cold calling.
No, well, that's not what we're doing. It's in
Oh.
general.
Yeah, I think it's all easy. I don't
Okay.
get phone anxiety because I'm like, I hang up. They don't know me. I don't know them.
Okay.
Who cares? We'll never talk again. I don't care.
And then last but not least, you have to wear a suit to sell life insurance.
No.
No.
My favorite thing is ball cap, sweatshirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People don't care. I mean, I used to-
Leggings.
Yep. Well,
No
now you
shoes.
guys are over the phone. But even when we went into home, it was like jeans and a polo. Then it was like jeans and t-shirt. Who
I
cares?
actually like to dress up when we do these kind of things.
Yeah.
'Cause at home, I'm so like casual. I'm like, oh, I get to wear nice
I
clothes.
mean, you keep
out.
saying ball cap. Next time you got to come in t-shirt and a ball cap.
Actually, my team, I made them all. My agency is Uplift Agencies.
Okay.
Check us out on Instagram,
Yes.
Uplift Agencies. And I made them all ball caps, and they're different colors. So as they sell 10K, 20K, 30K,
Oh,
they
that's
get
cool.
different colored hats.
Okay.
And they all want them.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
Yeah, but ball caps is like our culture. It's like a little joke with us.
No, that's cool. And that, I mean, it goes back to building that culture. That is key. You know, it's what keeps an office together. It's what keeps a team together.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, you know, earlier when you said you're almost recruiting for the no, that's a good thing. Don't ever stop doing that, because once you stop, you bring in the wrong type of people. And that's when you deal with massive debts and things of that
And
nature.
I'm protective of the energy, just making sure that there's not a lot of negative people. I've been around that. It's, you don't have to be perfect. Obviously, we all have our bad days, but just really, the longer you do this, you have a feeling for people that are going to be a good fit for what we do and who aren't. So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, keep doing what you're doing. Keep kicking ass. I appreciate you coming up doing this.
Yes.
And guys,
Love it.
thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And you can follow. What was your Instagram again?
So my agency one is Uplift Agencies.
Okay.
But it's best to follow me at the Mallory Kroos, and it's Kroos. I post every day.
Yeah. I know. I told you, I'm seeing you on TikTok now, so keep it up.
I just got on TikTok.
Good. Well, guys, thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning in. Subscribe if you haven't already. You know where to find us every week right here on True Talk. We'll see you next week.